So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, straight into the racing action. Nathan Williams slightly further down the order. He's dropped right the way down to 8th place at the moment as Nathan, but he's setting the timing screens alight with an overall fastest sector one. There's an issue there for Rios Garcia. He finds himself on the inside of Druids by the looks of that. Over Dear Leap goes Nathan Williams once again, sorry about that. He will cross the line, and will he set a personal fastest lap? He will set a very, very quick lap indeed, will Nathan Williams. That's just allowing him to close up on those cars up the road, down in 8th place. He's got, 4 seconds to make up before he catches onto the tail end of Harley Connolly. He wasn't really too far away. Currently out front leading the way is Liam Bradley. Then it is William Atribus, Luke Armstrong and George Robinson fighting away. And that is for 3rd place at the moment, absolutely side by side. So William Atribus doing what he can to make amends for race 1. He's just trying to pull away from those cars further back. Liam Bradley, what did I say earlier on? Oh, what could have been in race 1? It seems like it's all been in race 2. He's working his way through the chicane once again and will continue to extend that lead margin. William Atribus in 2nd place, still under pressure from those cars behind. We've got a car spinning it in towards the wall. Unfortunately, that is Levine Kishore, finished third in race 1 and has gone from fighting for what was the final spot on the podium down into 7th place, potentially 8th place, as he gets picked up by race 1 winner Nathan Williams. In towards the chicane he will go, and will pick up that place there. So Nathan Williams now up into 7th place. William Atribus still sat there in 2nd place, but Luke Armstrong not too far behind. There is Levine Kishore just working his way through Knickerbrook and up Clay Hill. George Robinson really starting to apply the pressure onto the tail end of Luke Armstrong. Through Druids they will go, and unfortunately I think there could have been a bit of contact between the pair of them. Luke Armstrong finds himself pointing the wrong way on the exit of Druids, gets the car pointing the right way, joins in between who is that, Harley Connolly and Nathan Williams. Nathan Williams is getting closer and closer and closer, however, so he's trying to follow up a fabulous performance in qualifying and the first race of the season to try and pick up potentially another top 5. I think he's a little bit too far away for a win at the moment for Nathan Williams. They go across the line, and we've got another car pointing backwards. Unfortunately, is that Dalton Hayward? Let's have a quick look. Yes, it is. Unfortunately, Dalton Hayward finds himself pointing the wrong way, and there's a brilliant trio of cars working their way in towards Lodge Corner, one of those being James Pepper, the other being Finn Harrison. The splitting the pair of those two there was Hayden Gray. He's coming over Dear Leap and then towards the line, so Hayden Gray leads that trio ahead of now James Pepper and Finn Richardson. Further up the order, we've got Luke Armstrong now coming under pressure from what is Nathan Williams. Nathan Williams is on the inside, so he will pick up that place through the quick left-hander, but what can the car behind do on the brakes? Can Luke Armstrong outbrake his rival in towards the Shell Oils hairpin? No, he has to settle for what is 7th place. So Nathan Williams, after joining him a few moments ago down in 9th, he's now right the way up into 6th place, and the next target for him will be Harley Connolly up the road, just disappearing out of our sight now. Nathan Williams potentially has to worry about a little bit of defensive driving from Luke Armstrong, because as soon as you've made that place, you need to make sure they're not going to get you back on the next corner. You approach the chicane absolutely as you should, put as much room between yourself and the car behind as possible. So now Nathan can stop worrying about defence and really start to focus on that attack and catch up onto the tail end of Harley Connolly. More importantly, catch up onto the tail end of what is the top 5. Liam Bradley still out in front, leading the way by around about 3 seconds. A battle slowly starting to form for what is 2nd place. William Atribus not really too far away from George Robinson behind. Of course, George finished 2nd in race 1. He's currently on for another podium at the moment, so George could stand himself in good stead if he picks up another position here. Heading in towards Lodge Corner, they will go absolutely nose to tail. William Atribus under now over more pressure from George Robinson. Through Dear Leap they will go and take another lap in the books. Over halfway through the race we are now, and once again the same trick being applied by George Robinson. Lights ablaze, filling those rearview mirrors of William Atribus in towards turn 1, and still remaining absolutely nose to tail. Slightly cleaner through turn 1, bouncing over the curbs goes William Atribus, so that will cost him a lot of momentum on the exit down towards Cascades. George Robinson all the way around the outside. Can he find the grip, or will he focus on potentially cutting back? William Atribus pinched towards the inside, a bit of door-to-door contact. George Robinson fighting his way back onto the circuit just to try and find some grip and remain side by side now through the left kink up towards Shell Oil's hairpin, they will go once again. Can he keep it on the road? Just about, George Robinson. You can see the car skating across the top of the racing surface. George Robinson now up into second place. He has picked the pocket of William Atribus. So after finishing second in race 1, he's on the cards now for second in race 2. If he can keep that car on the road and pull away from William Atribus behind, through the Britain chicane they will go. Once again, nose to tail. George Robinson not too far away, 4 seconds away from Liam Bradley up the road, 8.5 minutes to go. It's far-fetched, but he could do it. It can take a slight mistake potentially from Bradley, but he's controlled this race from the front since we've joined you once again. And Nathan Williams is only digging away at the car up the road. I said Nathan, having got past those cars behind. Levine Kishaw, like I say, down in 7th place. Nathan Williams is in 6th, but he is digging time out of Harley Connolly and getting closer and closer to that top 5 position at the moment. So Nathan is well and truly one to keep an eye on. The closest cars we've got out on circuit are either the cars we're looking at or indeed Nathan Williams and Harley Connolly, just slightly further down the order. Towards Lodge Corner they will go. There is Harley Connolly, there is Nathan Williams, absolutely flying through Druids Corner and then towards Lodge. They are getting closer and closer and closer together. Harley will have to start thinking about defence soon, as Nathan is only decreasing that margin to the cars up the road. Slightly further back, we've got Louis Neal on the outside, Luke Armstrong on the inside. And for the moment, they remain as they are, but Louis really starting again to apply that pressure. Is the most commonly used word, I would say, in Ginetta racing at the moment, because Luke Armstrong is doing what he can to soak it all up. On the run towards turn 1, placing the car in the middle of the road, pitching out to the outside, taking the normal line. Clever driving from Luke, just making sure he's not compromising too much speed on the way in, but not too much speed on the way out. A little bit of defending as they go down Cascades. To the inside goes Louis Neal, jumps on the brakes, flicks the car in, absolutely side by side. Potentially a bit of a lock up there from Louis Neal. The car all of a sudden just pitched into a straight line, and he's lost all of that time. Side by side further up the road, Nathan Williams up the inside of Harley Connolly towards Shell Oil's corner. They will go, and Nathan Williams up into 5th place. We joined him and he was down in 9th. He's now right the way up to 5th. The next target for him will be Albert Henriksen Bell, not too far up the road again. It's best part of 3 seconds separating the pair of them. Through the Britain chicane they will go. Nose to tail, Nathan Williams after ticking another one off. Harley Connolly getting caught out once again at the chicane. We saw that in race 1. We're seeing it in race 2. Just can't quite get the car slowed down and pitched it for the second part of the Britain chicane. That just means he's got to take to the grass. Nice and tidy, very precise margins from Nathan Williams, using all of the curb but not too much, and making sure he doesn't connect with those tyre bales. That gap has come down from 3 seconds now to almost sub 2 seconds between Nathan Williams and Albert Henriksen Bell up the road. George Robinson, like I say, is slowly starting to close that margin up to Liam Bradley up the road. It was 3 seconds last time we checked. It's fluctuating between 2 and 2.5 seconds at the moment. But Nathan Williams, well and truly the driver we need to be watching. 5.5 minutes of the race still to go. That equates to around about 3 laps. Towards the line they will go, and yes, 3 laps will be ticked in the book between now and the end of the race. So through Lodge Corner and then over Dealey they will go, and Nathan Williams again just taking time out of that car. 1 second between Nathan Williams and Albert Henriksen Bell. He's really got the match of that Ginetta G40 Junior, really starting to almost to handle the car around the circuit and hustle it through the range of corners here at Alton Park. Running slightly wide there is James Pepper. That does allow Finn Richardson up the inside. So whilst Finn Richardson has the inside for Lodge Corner, can James Pepper find the grip around the outside, or will he look for a cutback? Very quick in goes Finn Richardson, controls the oversteer well, but that washes the car wide. So James Pepper back up the inside as they go over Dealey. So James Pepper over the line in front of Finn Richardson. And again, that is just one of the things you see in Ginetta racing. They can enter a corner in one order, they've changed by the exit, and then they're back to exactly how they were a corner later. Really is the joy of Ginetta racing. If you're enjoying the sim racing series, there are of course the real racing alternatives outside of sim racing. Both cars follow each other off the road, bouncing over all of the grass. However, it looks like Finn Richardson managed that better. James Pepper finds himself in the barrier tail in, so hopefully not too much of an issue, and that's quite a common occurrence, especially if you are following a car. Finn Richardson, I think, maybe watching James Pepper slightly too closely, and that just almost ushered him towards the edge of the circuit and meant that he made the same mistake, just recovered from it better. Nathan Williams in 5th place. Like I said, he's closing up on the tail end of Albert Henriksen-Bell. Half a second separating them, as we've still got, what, 2 laps, maybe even 3 laps from now. No, 2 laps of the race definitely still to go. Bouncing over the curbs in the background is Harley Connolly. But Henriksen-Bell under ever more pressure from Nathan Williams. Through Lodge Corner they will go. Once again, over Dearly, nose to tail, towards turn 1 in a couple of moments' time. This is where, if you're Nathan Williams, you need to be watching, figuring out maybe where to go for the move. Very defensive goes Henriksen-Bell. Williams on the outside. Can he find the grip around there, or can he look for the cutback, keep the car off the curb, carry the momentum? That is what he's trying to do. He will put him on the outside down Cascades. Henriksen-Bell maintains that inside, but Nathan Williams is through and past by the time they get towards Cascades, meaning that Nathan Williams up into 4th place now. And Henriksen-Bell has got a bit more driving to do just to try and keep onto the coattails of Nathan Williams up the road. Can that keep him in towards that top 5? Any mistake will allow Harley Connolly to close up further back. The lead margin, like I said, is coming down. A couple of laps ago it was 3 seconds, then it became 2, now it's down to 1. George Robinson really starting to close up onto the gearbox of Liam Bradley. George Robinson, can he follow up a 2nd place in race 1 with either another 2nd or potentially even a 1st in race 2? So we've got, what, 1.5 laps of this race remaining. George Robinson getting ever closer to Liam Bradley. Down the hill they will go, in towards the chicane once again. Then it is the flick right at Knickerbrook, up Clay Hill towards Druids. It really does start to get quite tight up at the top of Clay Hill. Side by side is somewhat optional. You either go for it or you decide, yep, discretion's the better part of valor. Riding on board now with George Robinson. Visually you can see just how close they are. There's only, what, 0.6 of a second separating the pair of them. Heading in towards Druids once again. You can see steering the car with the rear a little bit there is George Robinson, just allowing the rear axle of the car to control the front as he's working his way through Druids up into 5th gear before you jump on the brakes for Lodge Corner, down to what I would guess is 3rd gear, maybe even 2nd if you're following a car. Managing the oversteer on the way in, uses all of the curb on the way out, nose to tail, lights on, filling the mirrors of Liam Bradley in the lead of the race. They go across the line to go on to what will be the final lap of the race. Liam Bradley's got a lot of driving to do. He's spent a lot of this race in the lead, but the only time he's come under pressure is now, the final lap of the race, as George Robinson is getting closer. Both cars bouncing over the curbs. They head towards what is Cascades once again. The bottom of the hill, later on the brakes, a slightly tighter line on the way in from Liam Bradley. A wider line from George Robinson. The car almost washes wide, but it carries the momentum on the exit. He's in the aerodynamic assistance. He throws the car to the inside, so he gets the preferred line for the left-hand king, but it will be the outside for the Shell Oil hairpin. Jumping back outside the car now, George Robinson on the inside. Do they remain as they were, running all over the grass? Unfortunately, is Liam Bradley. Is he going to get the car slowed down before the tyres? I sure do hope so, and just about stops before the tyres, but that will throw everything the way of George Robinson into the lead of the race. William Atribus now up into 2nd place, and I don't believe I'm going to say it, Nathan Williams up into 3rd. Liam Bradley has to pick up the pieces, remain in 4th at the moment, but he does rejoin in front of Albert Henriksen-Bell. So he's bridging the gap between Henriksen-Bell and Williams at the moment, but into the lead of the race now is George Robinson. So he's had a very competitive night as George. Liam Bradley will be kicking himself. I don't know whether there was contact, but George Robinson into the lead of the race, working his way through Knickerbrook for what will be the final time, and then towards the checkered flag for the final time this evening, before once again we do go racing in a week's time. But George Robinson, after approaching the leader on the final lap of the race, just applied that pressure at the right points. He finds himself in the lead of the race through Druids, can take it nice and easy. He doesn't need to worry about pressure behind, almost 5 seconds back to William Atribus. And we could see George Robinson this time in towards Lodge Corner for the final time. He will see the checkered flag this time through. So the 2nd race of the evening, the 2nd race of the season for the 2023 Ginetta Junior Official eSeries will go the way of George Robinson. He takes the win here at Alton Park, and it will be William Atribus that crosses the line in 2nd place, followed by Nathan Williams. What a comeback drive from Nathan. Qualifying pole position, a race 1 win, and joins his rivals on the podium, the final step of the podium, but the podium nonetheless in race 2. It is then Liam Bradley and Albert Henriksen Bell that make up the top 5. Harley Connolly has crossed the line in 6th place, and then it is Levine Kishaw, Luke Armstrong, hounded all the way to the line by Louis Neal, and it will be Adrian Rios Garcia that will cross the line and round out your top 10. Hayden Gray, a little bit further back, will cross the line in what is 11th place, not too far away at all. And Finn Richardson, again, what could have been in race 2, very quick indeed, but unfortunately it all just started to come unravelled at the moment. And we've got confirmation now. George, was it Robertson, I believe? Let's just have a quick look. Yes, it is. So our race 2 winner, after George Robinson finished 2nd in race 1, he's won race 2. George Robinson, I am proud to say, is your driver of the evening. So he will get himself a nice pair of free UK sim racing gloves. Everybody else has crossed the line now, barring Ollie Newton. He will cross the line in a few moments' time. But what a way to kick off the season. What a way to kick off the 2023 Ginetta Junior Official Series. And it shows those prizes really are up for their worth. The Ginetta Junior Scholarship Qualification entry is going to be fought for all the way until the final checkered flag of the season if you're going off tonight. And of course, with driver of the round going the way of George Robinson, like I say, he will pick himself up the first pair of the free sim racing gloves. So hopefully in a few moments time we will get a couple of drivers in towards the commentary booth for a quick interview. So I just need to make a couple of notes, make sure I am well aware of where absolutely everybody finished, and we will get the interviews underway in just a few moments time. But again, if you are watching along at home, please do make sure you join us in a week's time where we get to do all of this again. And this time, whilst Alton Park, like I say, is quite a levelling circuit, we go to Donington Park GP, a very quick circuit indeed. It does have all the elevation change of Alton Park, the corners slightly quicker, meaning that we could see some even closer racing in towards the 3rd and 4th race of the season. No interviews, unfortunately, this evening. So again, just to run you through your top 3 drivers in both races, it was Nathan Williams that's crossed the line in race 1 as the winner, followed by George Robinson in 2nd and Levine Kishaw finished in 3rd. Race 2, we've just seen George Robinson cross the line to finish in 1st and round out a good night, but also bring home a driver of the round award. William Atribus crossed the line in 2nd, and it was Nathan Williams that's crossed the line in 3rd. Thankfully, we didn't need the assistance of Jordan Taylor in the safety car throughout this evening. But of course, a massive thank you to, initially Perfect Acceleration Sim Racing for putting on what has been an absolutely brilliant opening event throughout this evening. Join us in a week's time, as you can see, Thursday the 31st of August for round 2, races 3 and 4 of the 2023 Ginetta Junior Official eSeries on Donington Park GP. That is well and truly one to watch once again here on the Perfect Acceleration Sim Racing channel. So from myself, Jack Werrell, and of course Tom O'Farrell in the broadcasting booth, doing a brilliant job of keeping us up to date with all of the action throughout this evening. We will see you in a week's time at Donington Park. Bye-bye.